Working Fans Podcast. Cool.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Coming down 3, 2.
Welcome back for another week of the Working Fans Podcast. This is AJ. I'm the former wrestler. We've got Dave, the ultimate fan, here with us. As we do every week, our producer Joe likes to make us sound good and makes us look way more professional than we actually are. As always, you can find us on Twitter, that's @FansWorking, Facebook, Working Fans Pod. We've got email where you can reach out to us and please contact us to let us know what you think of the podcast and for any ideas that you might have. That's workingfanswrestlingpod@gmail.com. We're on Instagram where you can keep up with us at workingfanswrestling_pod. And then you can now listen to us on all major platforms, including Anchor.fm. We're on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Apple Podcasts, and you can actually check us out on YouTube. Now, it's important when you go onto the Apple Podcasts and YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give us a rating, let us know what you think so you can help us out and we can continue to do what we love and bring you guys in as fans.
Hello, everybody. This is former WWE superstar Al Snow, and you're listening to the Working Fan Podcast.
Don't think you have to be an AEW guy or a WWE guy or girl. You know what? You
100%.
Watch and just watch some fucking wrestling and enjoy it for what it is. You don't have to, just because you like one doesn't mean you have to hate the other.
100%.
You know what? Don't watch that. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Watch what you like, because there's a lot more to choose from now.
Get your head to the pillow at the end of the night. That's all that matters. Just get your head to the pillow. No matter how bad you're feeling, no matter how bad you think you're doing, if you put your head on that pillow, you got a fighting shot at tomorrow.
It's the Working Fans Podcast, and today I have a man who has been a wrestler, he's been a manager, he's been a color commentator, he's been a ring announcer, he's even been an author. He is an author. He's a DJ. He's got something going on called Covidcon he's going to tell us about. Mr. Kenny Casanova. Kenny, you got a lot of stuff going on. How you doing?
Thanks, man. I appreciate it so much.
No problem, man. Let's give a little background about you first. I did my homework a little bit here. You can correct me on anything. You were trained by Tom Brandy, Matt Bourne, T.C. Reynolds, and Bam Bam Bigelow to be a wrestler. Is that correct?
Most of those sound right. I don't know about Matt Bourne, per se. A guy named T.C. Reynolds who used to do a fake doink, so you're close.
Okay.
Not quite Matt Bourne, but yes.
Okay. And you started in 1994, and you
right.
predominantly wrestled in the New England area?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yep. Mostly up and down the East Coast, mostly New England. Yep.
Awesome. And then you became a manager. You managed guys like King Kong Bundy, Brutus Beefcake?
Yep. Bunch of old school guys.
Yeah. Awesome. And then you ended up doing kimchi with Kamala for a few times, and that ended up helping you. You ended up writing an autobiography for Kamala, yes?
Right, yeah. So that kind of opened me up into the book writing world. So a lot of it blends in. There's a lot of I have a weird skill set. I don't know if you'd call it good. It's just very odd. The manager gimmick I did was a karaoke-like gimmick. I would sing my guys to the ring real bad songs like Britney Spears and Tom Jones and stuff so people would boo. That turned into, hey, can you do a karaoke party for me, birthday party or something? You know, so I was like, geez, I'll try to figure it out because I wanted the payday. You know, old school guys, that's what we look at.
Yeah.
So, I started doing that. That turned into wedding DJ. Can you come do our weddings? So I said, okay, sure, that pays more. I'll try to do that. And then that pulled me out of wrestling a little bit. But then the book thing pulled me back in. So I was able to write the books for the guys, And then the book thing, many years later, turned into this Covidcon, which you just mentioned, which has now got me promoting a big convention, a first ever virtual wrestling con, which is going to be on FiteTV and has like 60 names on it. And it's all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and that's because I'm an author and I wanted to put something together for the fans who didn't really have anything during, these tough times and stuff. So we came up with that idea and it's taken off.
Wow. So now, how many books do you have out, Kenny?
Yeah, so I started with Kamala's. We raised something like $60,000 to write a book for him Kickstarter as a reward. But then I figured out the whole publishing deal, which turned out to be more lucrative for him, who needed money when he lost both legs of diabetes, on how to publish myself. So I became kind of a publisher. So I wrote Kamala's. I wrote Dangerous Danny Davis. That was the bad guy referee in WrestleMania 3. I wrote Bruce Beefcake's Big Van Vader's. Wrote Sabu's book. And I'm currently working with Sid, Just Incredible, and also long-term Bruce Pritchard.
Oh, wow. Nice. You're also, you've been a DJ, too. Is that something you're still doing?
Yep, still doing that. I mean, right now in New York State, you can't gather any people together more than 50 or so, or whatever. I don't even think it's that now. But yeah, typically every weekend turned into me DJing because it was the difference of, $1,000 wedding that you could make or more. Some weddings pay big bucks. Or, a hot dog and a handshake from some, backyard promotion or something. So I had to kind of go where the money was. It took me out of the wrestling, but during the week, I started doing the writing, so I was still in it. So I'm doing all this crazy little stuff behind the scenes that I excel at, but might not be as much on camera that you would see me.
Gotcha. And now I also wanted to just ask you real quick, you were a ring announcer, and, so funny story. Actually, just before this, we taped an interview with Gary Capetta, and we're going to be doing like a ring announcer theme. And I was kind of wondering, did you borrow from anybody when you were ring announcing? Like anybody's influence you?
Probably the Fink. Because when I do it, I do kind of like a put-on voice, more old school, a little bit of Michael Buffer. Not really like the newer Justin Roberts sound. Right. Not really like that. It was more like, this contest is scheduled for one fall. And more like the Fink, I would say.
Yeah. No, I'm a fan of that, so that's cool. And I noticed, too, you're also an MMA fan? Did I see that right?
To some degree, sure.
Yeah. I just wonder sometimes because I noticed it like on your Facebook, I saw some stuff like Conor McGregor and a few other things. And sometimes I like to ask people because like I'm a fan of MMA and pro wrestling, but it seems like MMA fans don't like to really mix the two. But I love mixing the two because I think it's all promotion and showmanship, and that's what makes it great. Yeah. Now,
I bet if we really did our homework, we could figure out some MMA matches that were works. So.
Oh yeah. Now, one other question before we just jump more into Covidcon.
Sure.
You got introduced into the New England Wrestling Hall of Fame. Is that correct?
Yeah, inducted to the Hall of Fame 2000 and I want to say 4 or 5. Forgive me, I can't remember the year. Too many chair shots in the head, maybe. I don't know. Real big night. They do a good job there. It's Joe Bruin, his name is. And he's had the thing going for quite a number of years, and he also has like a big fan fest. He works around it, does a super job. So, shout out to him.
So tell me about Covidcon in the sense, I know the days, but who's going to be there and what's some of the stuff we can expect and how did this all come about?
It's okay. So there's a guy named John Cosper. He wrote like David Schultz's book, who's kind of relevant again. David Schultz with that Dark Side of the Ring getting out there recently. But he wrote his book, and he writes to me one day after the COVID thing was going on here, and he sent me it looked like a book fair Zoom kind of thing that a college was putting on. He's like, geez, I wonder if we could do one for our books with wrestling. And like a light bulb went above my head, literally. If you could picture a cartoon, like that's what I think happened. And I was like, dude, hold my beer, because I had nothing to do really. I mean, I'm a teacher, so I'm an English teacher also, and I teach during the day, but I needed something to do, so I pretty took off with it, and I started seeing who I could book. And something that, I've always pushed for, one of the rules of success is doesn't hurt to ask. So I started asking all my contacts and seeing who I could get together. Immediately, DDP said yes. So I was like, okay, this is going to be big. I could probably put his face on stuff, and, so I got DDP. Shortly after that, we had like Hurricane. But then, I don't know, Al Snow is in. I'm just trying to think of some of the big major names. But we have every major wrestling book author, which was the idea to this. And we threw a bunch of other wrestlers in to kind of like, pull some eyes on the event. And so we could help sell more books. But now the wrestlers will be able to sell more 8x10s and shirts and stuff. So it's a good win for all of the guests because they've got nothing they can do now. They can't really go to a wrestling show. You can't do any sort of appearances anywhere for the time being. But also, what it also does is it gives back to the fans because the fans can't really like go enjoy anything either. So I said, hey, So I said to my buddy John, I said, rather than do Zoom or something, here's my idea. Let's make a Facebook page and we'll make a ton of Q&As, panels and individuals and stuff where the fans can actually interact with the people that they admire and they want to know more about. And from there, we'll just let their questions be the content. So we're doing Facebook Live, and it's going to be one constant stream from like 9 in the morning on Saturday till midnight, and then it starts up again 9 the next morning. And it's just every half hour, a new wrestler, a wrestling personality, or like an author or historian comes on to do a Q&A. And there'll also be run-ins in different people's feeds, and there'll be panels. Like we have an ECW panel that has Sabu and Justin Credible and Joel Gertner in it. And we have a tag team panel with like Typhoon, the Shockmaster, with like one of the Bushwhackers, Cousin Luke. So we're trying to mix things up. We've got ODB's got a special guest that she hasn't announced, which is another female wrestler that people know. So that kind of thing, a lot of little surprises here and there. Michael Kingston's going to do something with Hurricane Helms. And Michael Kingston's the guy that put the Headlock comic out. So yeah, there's all kinds of neat stuff going on. Coco Beware is there, the Nasty Boys. We got all stuff for old school.
You got everybody you can find.
Yeah. We've got Oscar, like you said. You had him on last week. Oscar gave me a call, and he was interested. So, yeah, we gave him a spot. And that's some real good wrestle crap right there. Now, people who like wrestle crap, you know what I'm talking about. The fun, gimmicky stuff. Got him. We got Alex the Pug Parto. we got some cool stuff going on.
You found everybody in that 90s type era right there.
Yeah. Got a bunch of them. We got like Marty the Moth from Lucha Underground.
Oh.
Kevin Kleinrock, who does the Masked Republic.
Oh, yeah.
Minute on some podcasts. He's going to show up with some Lucha Underground guys to talk Lucha. So we also have a guy named Peter Bregman who's doing coloring books for wrestlers. He's got and I help write him sometimes. He's got one for Demolition called Demolition on Mars. Sabu versus the Three Little Pigs. He's got Cactus Jack and the Beanstalk. Dave McFoley's coloring book. So we're trying to grab stuff from all over the place. We've got John Crowther, who does a lot of the guys' comic books. So there's a comic book element to the whole thing. And then we've got Scott Teal, Crowbar Press. We got Michael Holmes from ECW Press, and all different little authors that are surrounded by all of the small publishers, wrestling-related books. He's written Flair's book. He wrote the Iron Sheik book that was shelved. We've got the guy that wrote Jim Ross's books. So we got all kinds of, O'Brien, we got all kinds of cool stuff. A little bit of stuff for everybody, I think.
All right. Well, that's awesome, man. Sounds like you got your hands full and should be a fun time for everybody. So everything they can find out about this is on Facebook?
Sure. I mean, if you go to our page that we made just for the Comic-Con, I shouldn't call it Comic-Con, I guess a Wrestling Con, you go to facebook.com/groups and then /wrestling bookmarks. So the group that we're putting together is a bunch of authors, and our group name is the Wrestling Bookmarks. We spell it like a bookmark, like you would put it in the book, but it is a play on the word because it's like marks for books.
Gotcha.
So,
that's
cool. So go there, and you can also see it free on FiteTV. But if you want to ask questions, you got to go to the Facebook page so you can interact with the wrestlers. If you just want to watch it, FiteTV is a great outlet for that.
Awesome. And you're on FiteTV, too. That's awesome. All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. Is there anything else you want to say before we go, then?
No, that'd be great. I think we're going to have a Pro Wrestling Covidcon t-shirt. If people are like really into it and want to check that out, any money we make from that, we're going to pay the moderators and stuff, because basically everybody's doing stuff for free. Again, this is just a fun thing for the fans, and just kind of like a book fair type thing to put your stuff out there with a lot of fun Q&A in between. And I just want to show you my appreciation for having us on, and let's plug it a little bit, and keep stuff fun for the fans out there. Keep the legend alive.
Awesome, Kenny. Yeah, we'll definitely plug this. I'm super excited for the event, man. This is cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you're listening to this podcast right now, the Working Fans Podcast, then Happy New Year to you. And we know you can listen to other podcasts, but thanks for taking the time to listen to this one, man. I mean, hey, I love podcasts myself, and I'll be listening. So,
well, I'm a working man here for working fans, and I'm going to tell you what is a part of the plan. Well, part of the plan, they first not last, it is called the Working Fan Podcast, where they get questions and they get answers. And you can't see them, but they got answers. They are the ones in the place to be. You can see them all, and all you'll see, they got the answers, the wrestling checks. And they are, yes, they got to be the best. The guy got a voice of out of this world. He be rocking the girl. So I was saying like this. They take him to task. They're listening to the Working Man Podcast.
It's the Working Fans Podcast with Dave, and today we got a former member of Men on a Mission from the WWE back in the day. He was the happy rapping manager, Oscar. How the heck are you, sir?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. You know, usually when I get people on, I'll ask them about how they broke into wrestling. But with you, I was kind of curious, like, how did you start rapping? Was that something you always loved, or like, how did that come about?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm trying to make a long story short because that's a loaded question with a long reach. Rap started when I was in high school. It actually started when I was in high school. It started up like in the Bronx, New York, where I'm from New York, from Brooklyn. And, you know, I became a fan right away when I first heard the first rap that I ever heard. Because before there were records, the raps were on cassette. And guys used to have those big boom boxes that took 12D batteries. And they weighed about 10, 15 pounds to carry them around. A lot of people got bulked. They got bulked up just by carrying boom boxes. And you heard the likes of Curtis Lowe and Grandmaster Flash and, and Spoonie G, you know, some of the earliest rappers. And I was just a fan then. And then in Brooklyn, you know, we used to mess around with it. You know, I had one rhyme, you know, back by 1979 that I used to do. And then I started rocking at parties. So we used to have block parties outside where we set these huge booming sound systems up. And we just rock it all night. And some of us that was rapping, we would get on the mic and just rock the crowd outside until the club situation came, and then the records started coming out. And I so wanted to be a rapper making records. It was my passion and my dream. And fast forward, when Grandmaster Flash and them started making records, and then Run DMC, and then they started going on tours and all that. Just fast forward in the story, that was my... If I had three wishes, it would be to go on tour, to make records and be a rap star. To go on tour, make records and be a rap star. Oh, and Genie, to go on tour, make records and be a rap star. I wanted it so bad. Not about the money. It was about prestige, the clothes, and especially number one, the girls.
Right.
And that's what everybody was really doing it for, because nobody thought that the kind of money was going to be generated out of this. We just wanted to be popular. I started rapping at this club later on, fast forward into the 80s. I started rapping at this club called Broadway International, and the guy, he was a Jewish guy that really liked me. His name was Leon, and he let me get on stage and introduce the act. I used to get booed off the stage every week. Get out of here! They even threw a wet roll of toilet tissue at me one time. I'd never forget.
Wow.
It's like, you know, why you just don't quit? Why you just don't quit? Why you just don't quit? But the love of that stage outweighed the negativity until I got better. But it's not that I got better. They just, after I guess about a year, they just got tired of booing. He ain't going nowhere.
You broke them down.
He wrote even hustlers, let's do him. If nothing else, we ain't got to like him, but he don't make fun no more. So yeah, I went I did the Broadway International thing, and then what I did was I went. But the New York rap scene was really crowded. But my parents moved to California. I went to California where the rap scene wasn't so crowded, and my skill level to rap was nothing in New York, but it was phenomenal in Los Angeles because it was just breaking out.
Right.
So when you hear the names Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Eazy-E, Ice-T, you know, I was all in that West Coast rap clique back then, where we used to do parties and all that other kind of stuff like that. Everybody branched off. And then what wound up happening was I had rap. I used to freestyle all the time. I could rap about anything on the spot. And I met a man named Norby Walters. His name changed my life. Norby Walters was an agent to every black group that there was that was doing anything. The Stylistics, the Barry Whites, the Michael Jacksons, and he was their agent. And as he was coming to retirement, he took a liking to me, and then he became my manager. That was the best thing that happened because the position that he had, Norby Walters was like the unofficial mayor of Los Angeles, mayor of Hollywood, to be more specific. The man knew every actor, every producer, every celebrity and power broker in the entertainment business. How did you not fail being aligned with somebody like that? And when I met him, I started doing everything. I was playing casinos out in Vegas. I was on the flip side. I wasn't doing the stuff Run MC and Grandmaster Flash was doing. I was doing corporate parties and Jewish events and stuff that where rappers don't normally go, where white folks do that. And a huge amount of money, and I was becoming an overnight celebrity in Los Angeles because I was always getting written up by Variety magazine, The Hollywood Reporter, and it was a glorious time.
Wow.
Doing all that.
What time period was this? 80s, 90s?
It was from the mid-'80s, and then the year where I really broke out was 1990. Because in 1990, the very first big project that I did was the Jetsons had a movie, and I got on the soundtrack. If you ever watched Jetsons the movie, one of the very last songs was called the Jetson Rap. That's what I did, and I mean, I was excited. To this day, that's what I'm still proud of. I mean, that's the iconic Jetsons.
Right.
I did a rap for the Jetsons the movie, and that was fantastic.
That's something to live forever, right there. So that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it will. Matter of fact, my wife was watching it about a month ago. I mean, it's a phenomenal thing to put on. You know, if I ever write up my legacy on paper, that's a one big pinnacle. Then from then on, I'm getting to the part where I got the WWE. Then I'm gonna let you ask your next question.
Oh, that's right. Go ahead. Yeah, keep going. You're doing great.
After the Jetsons, this producer that I knew in Seattle, he had a production company where he would do like Vegas type shows with dancing girls and comedians, variety shows. And I knew him. His name was Greg Thompson. He was another mentor of mine. After I did the Jetsons, he said, "You know what? You got the Jetsons out. That's a big thing. I got a show running in Bermuda." And Bermuda, beautiful Bermuda, where it ain't nothing but a beach. I mean, it's 7-star hotels, and he was running a show at a 7-star hotel for the Southampton Princess. And he gave me a contract, flew me out there, and I was working in that show. So I lived in Bermuda for close to a year. I came back, and I settled right back into, doing big things in Hollywood. I was rapping, opening things up at the Improv for guys like Adam Sandler and Jay Leno and Jerry Seinfeld and big comedy names. Some of the biggest comedy names ever. I probably opened up for them at the Improv or some other charity event or something else. I mean, it was phenomenal. I hooked up with my favorite comedian, who was the biggest comic in America at that time, Andrew Dice Clay. I saw him outside the Comedy Store, and I did this rap for him, and he asked me, "How the F did you do that?" I said, "I don't know." So he had 8 shows running at the Laugh Factory, which was on Sunset Boulevard. What he did was he would do his show, he would call me on stage, and then I would rap the show out down. And everybody lost their mind, and then it was, I was like, oh my God, I'm with Andrew Dice Clay. I'm with Andrew Dice Clay right now.
That's you've had a crazy life, my man.
I'm eating pizza with Andrew Dice Clay, and I'm ready to go on stage with Andrew Dice Clay. This is nuts. I went with Andrew Dice Clay to Las Vegas. He played at Valley. Did the same thing. I was a huge fan when I went to Vegas playing craps. So the Caesars Palace playing craps. On the same day, coincidentally, that Vince McMahon and Macho Man Randy Savage and them were there, they were shooting vignettes for WrestleMania 9 was coming up in 2 weeks. So I'm playing craps, and I see this big commotion in the casino, and I look, and I see this guy with this crazy hat and this colorful outfit. And I'm like, oh my God, that's Macho Man Randy Savage. I gave the dice to the guy next to me, and I said, go rap for Randy Savage real fast. So I said, Mr. Savage, I got a singing telegram for you. He was like, okay, go ahead, brother. And then I did the rap, and I put video. I was like, no, Macho Man, no other wrestler, he can't ravage. Talk about Macho Man, Randy Savage, and then goes the man with the plan. Standing right there is Vince McMahon. And just on and on and on.
That's awesome.
His mouth was open. He was like, I want you to call me Monday at the WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. He said it as the elevator was closing, and he said it just like Stamford, Connecticut, just like you can't say it on TV. So that Monday, I woke up, I was like, okay, let's see, go get candles for the ladies, I gotta get milk, do some laundry, and oh yeah, that's right, talk to the man, right. So I called, now when I'm calling, I'm thinking, you know how people say call me, and they don't mean it, they just say, you know.
Yeah.
His secretary at the time was like, oh my God, yeah, this is exciting. He's been telling everybody about you. He's waiting for you to call. He's going to call you right back. He called me 10 minutes later on the plane.
Wow.
He said, I think that you would fit in here as a good manager. I see you as one of my managers. Let me get WrestleMania 9 behind me, and we can sort this out. And I was like, you mind if I get a couple of tickets to WrestleMania 9? He was like, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So I went back to Vegas, and yep, I had tickets made for me at WrestleMania 9. So I'm going up. They was like, no, your seats are down here. My seats was in this red carpeted VIP section, and they sat me down next to Luther Vandross. What's the lady? Well, I actually remember her name. Unforgettable.
Oh.
Story. I should remember the name. It comes to me. So anyway, yeah, so I enjoyed WrestleMania 9, went home, and about a month later, he called me, flew me to Stamford, Connecticut for a meeting. Mo and Mabel were there, and that's the rest of history.
So that was the first time you met Mo and Mabel. Okay.
Yeah, see, Vince didn't know at the time who he was going to put me with. I mean, I knew it was going to be somebody black because that made sense. I know it was going to be Mr. Steve or somebody like that, but nah, they took the time to wait. They had tape on Mo and Mabel from the USWA
right
in Memphis, and yeah, he got them out there, put us together, and Vince and Creative had already came up with the game plan already. They knew the kind of outfits they wanted us to wear. They had the name Minimum Edition, and they told us we were going to be Mabel, Oscar, and Mo.
So you start right at WWE, but were you always a fan of wrestling?
That's another story.
Okay.
So my stepfather had a knack of knowing on television what me and my brother would enjoy if he was watching it. So, you know, like one time he would call us in and sit us down and say, look at this. And it was Alvin Costello meets Frankenstein. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, that's Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman. We love this. So one Saturday night at midnight, he called us in and sat us down, and wrestling was on. And that's when I fell in love. We all fell in love with wrestling. Bruno Sammartino and the Iron Sheik, Skandar Akbar and Andre the Giant, and the list goes on, and Bob Backlund. And we just fell in love with it. And then a couple of times he took us to Madison Square Garden to go see it live, and we had so much. We had nosebleed seats, but it was so much fun. Now, let me tell you why this is pinnacle, and now I'm going to bring in my best Howard Finkel story.
All right.
Howard Finkel was the announcer at Madison Square Garden when I was 9 or 10 years old, used to go see it live, right? You hear Howard Finkel, ladies and gentlemen, Bruno Sammartino. I'm Howard Finkel, and I never forgot his name, but that's a Finkel. That's a strange name.
Yeah.
How about years later at WrestleMania 10, Mo and Mabel were going against the Quebecers for the titles, and it just hit me that night. I'm like, I used to watch this guy from the nosebleed seats with my father and my brother, and now he's getting ready to introduce me.
That's wild.
Any wrestler, and I would imagine that story is not so unique to me because every wrestler who ever used to go and hear the OGs being announced by Howard Finkel, and then Howard Finkel announcing their name, that's got to make you feel something, because it did. Because WrestleMania 10, when I came out that curtain, I could look up at the nosebleed seats, and I would imagine my father, brother, and me looking down at me now.
Yeah, and being from Brooklyn, too, and it's WrestleMania 10 at the Garden.
Yeah, I mean, and that was such a fun, because I got to do my first music video outside on location at the Garden. Prior to that, you know, And I mean, it was what I wanted, becoming a rapper 20 times over. I made it like Run DMC and Grandmaster Flash and all my idols, but I made it on the flip side in another way.
Yeah.
That had me stand apart from everybody else in the rap industry. And I come to find out that I'm respected a lot from those cats for doing it. Because my idols, Melly Mel, I saw him again down the line when I was still in, and he told me, like Chuck D of Public Enemy told me they were fans. I'm like, well, it's because of y'all that I'm doing what I'm doing. Matter of fact, I owe y'all 10 cents on every dollar I ever made, because if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be doing this. Yeah, it's a great story when I look back on the annals of my life. I mean, it's been a wild ride.
Well, let me ask you this, because everything, doesn't all great, and obviously things aren't always easy. And I did hear now, you always hear about it from your perspective, the travel schedule back then. How was that?
Well, it's more to it than just the travel. Okay, that opens up a new line of answer.
Awesome.
The travel itself was, if anything, most people will tell you that the travel, the logistics of the travel is more exhausting and tiring than the actual work itself, because the schedule was relentless. Vince McMahon is at home in a $32 billion mansion, and he'll put you on the road 14 or 4 days straight without no rest. And then they give you 4 days. They give you 4 days off, right? Excuse me, 4 days off. And before you could drop your bag when you get home, because I was way out on the West Coast at that time, back in California. I remember one time, before I could put my bag down, my phone rang, and they said Shawn Michaels had to go to a wedding or something like that. We need to put you guys back on the road. Our plane tickets waiting for you at the airport.
Wow.
I got home. But yeah, I mean, the travel, because, I mean, you're on the road, there's 365 days a year. You're on the road probably 290 or 300 of those. Give or take.
Sure. I heard people say before that the wrestling and performing is the fun part. They pay you for the travel.
Well, yeah, no. They pay you. So, like any other recording artist, band, or act on the road, you get paid basically according to what they feel like your contribution is to the people coming, the ticket sales and the money generated. So if you're a top guy like Bret Hart was at the time, Bret Hart makes 100 times more money than me. I make good money, but Bret Hart was up there. Yeah, Lex Luger, that was up there. Yeah, Yokozuna, that was champ. So they were all in the main event all the time. So yeah, the money they were making was insane.
Before I talk about leaving WWE, what about the ribs? Any funny ribs? We always heard good stories about practical jokes and stuff about then. Anything you remember?
I was the king of getting ribs. I probably hold the record. Most ribs and most vicious ribs pulled.
Ooh.
The Steiner brothers were relentless when it came. I mean, these cats duct taped me to a urinal in the bathroom. I used to, my stuff used to be on the floor all the time, and sometimes guys wanted to fight me because they didn't think that I would fight back because I wasn't a wrestler. I mean, yeah, don't forget my 30th birthday when they held me down and spanked my ass.
Oh my God.
30 hard licks, remember that? It's just a lot, but I wasn't the only one. I mean, Lex Luger used to have like these $2,000 suits, and from what I understand, he used to come back from the match and find his suits stapled to a wall.
Wow.
When the Reigns first got the title, somebody stole the belt, and then they shit in her gym bag.
Yeah.
These guys wasn't just ribbon playing. They would do some malicious, mean, repugnant, awful stuff.
So the ugly side of the ribs. You saw a lot of that then, huh?
Yeah. Somebody doing that in your bag. It don't get no worse than that.
Nah. Now, so you ended up leaving the wrestling. You left WWE. Take us through that. How did that come about? What made your decision to finally leave?
Well, okay. I was about burnt out. Maybe I needed about 3 months off. I could have got regenerized and came back. I was burnt out. I mean, 2 years and change. Relentlessly on the road, but what came to a head was Men on a Mission was popular, a great babyface team with a lot of fans, and a really good positive gimmick. Now, throughout my early rap career, and the way I always lived my life positive. You know, you won't never saw me drunk because I don't drink, never had. You're not gonna see me smoking, and when it comes down to youth is my passion. Stay in school, stay out of drugs, and live your life positive. And I had a great platform being on television to impart that to a whole lot more kids than if I was just plain old, just plain old Greg, which is my real name. Well, what happened was the idea came to turn Men on the Mission heel. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to take us and turn us from babyface to heel, be a heel tag team. That didn't sit well with me for a few reasons. But number one, I know Vince knows what he's doing. He's the master at it. But I really felt strongly that, okay, they're going to turn everybody heel. And Mo maybe wanted to be heels. They never wanted to be babyface. That was Impact. I thought that it was the wrong time to do that. That was my opinion. But what the thing was because of my positive stance and my positive stature, I was never going to go on television with those many people watching me and be negative. It just wasn't in me to do it, and that was the split. That's when I was, pretty much done.
After WWE, did you do anything else with wrestling, or was that it? Did you move on to something else?
I left wrestling. And I went straight into radio. I was on one of the biggest radio shows in Chicago called Mancow's Morning.
Oh yeah. No kidding. Now I saw you, I want to say in 2017, you did a rap for Something to Wrestle With, like a live show with Bruce Pritchard and Conrad.
Okay, I was in Boston doing an interview.
Yeah, that's where I saw you in Worcester. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, with a guy named Dan Marais. I was doing a TV thing, and he told me that next night that Bruce and Conrad, because I didn't even know, I knew Bruce Pritchard really well. I worked, Bruce was one of the top executives up there when I was there, so I knew Bruce really well. But he said, so Dan said, Bruce was doing his show at the House of Blues tomorrow night. He said, you should come up there and, and rap, and I was going to be in town, so I was down. So I went, and I went backstage, and I saw Bruce, and Bruce knew I was coming to rap. Bruce was like, you want you rapping over the show? I was like, okay. So that's how that started. So from then on, I did about 10 of those. They were all a House of Blues. They were all sold out. And it was one of the biggest ways in 2017 for me to at least get my name really, really back out there.
Yeah, it was awesome. You did great, man. It was good seeing you there. It brought back a lot of memories. What are you doing anything right now? I know it's probably hard to do things right now with the damn virus out there, but,
Well, you know about Covidcon coming up in here, right? Okay, yeah. Myself and Hurricane Shane Helms and a bunch of big names, and we're going to have, and this guy that came up with it, named Kenny Casanova, that did Kamala's book.
Okay.
They came up with an idea, since we can't really socialize right now, is to do a virtual virtual wrestling convention. The same way we do them, but we're going to do it all online. Q&As and interviews and all kinds of stuff like that, a whole bunch of activities that people can, look at safely at home, and, panels and all that stuff that you have at a convention, we're going to have it online. That's going to be May 2nd and 3rd I think I'm on sometime on the 3rd. I just don't know what time yet because they haven't told me what time I slotted. But Shockmaster is going to be on. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of big names that are going to be involved. I think Barry Darsow and Barry Darsow and them are going to be involved. Yeah, it's going to be huge, and it's going to be a virtual wrestling convention, and we're all part of this, and I'm going to be on May 3rd.
Awesome. We'll promote that when the episode drops. We'll put a link or something on Twitter, too. That's great, man.
Yes, it's called Covidcon.
Covidcon.
If you look up Covidcon, Wrestling Mark at Covidcon, and it'll give you all the details.
All right, man. Is there anything else you want to promote?
No, that's good for now. I mean, I don't know. As far as getting out, everything is so iffy right now. Things are on hold. So, I mean, hopefully we can get some semblance of normalcy back. Because me personally, I mean, I've been traveling a lot. I've been a consultant for a few things. And then a lot of, by all of the big signings I've been at over the past 5 or 6 years, WrestleCon and WrestleFest and, all those kinds of things like that. You'd always come in, meet me, shake hands, swap stories, sign autographs, and all that other kind of thing like that. So, I'm looking forward to getting back to that because I enjoy traveling, when I want to travel, when I'm being home. And, I want to go and out and meet people and be with people and, and a vacation and all that other kind of stuff like that. Those conventions afford you to do that. And so, yeah, that's I want to get back to that.
That's awesome. That's excellent.
Thank you, man.
Oh, my God. Listen, Oscar, thank you so much. You're an awesome storyteller. You got a great personality. You're very engaging. This was a real pleasure for me. Thank you.
All right, man. It was a pleasure talking to you. You guys can contact me anytime.
All right. Have a great night, man. Thanks again. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. No, okay, cool. So I'm on the phone with Ross right now?
This is Marshall.
Marshall.
I'm here too. Yeah, Ross is here too.
Okay, cool. No, that's good. That's great. I'll tell you what. So I'll just do a quick pause, introduce you guys, and then whoever wants to chime in can chime in.
Cool, man. Sounds good.
All right, awesome, man. All right, thanks for doing this again. Guys, I'm not even going to try to, name drop, but, we've had, Al Snow, Ricky Morton, a lot of people on this show. This is a big thrill for me. I grew up on your family watching them, and I am huge fans. I love what you guys are doing at MLW, so I'm really happy to have you on. So.
Oh, yeah, no, we're super happy to be on your show, man.
We appreciate that. We heard awesome things, man. We're definitely excited.
Yeah, you definitely got a good name in the podcast community, the wrestling podcast. Good rep.
Awesome to hear. All right, well, let me give you an introduction, and we'll get started.
Good deal.